Hey there, welcome back friends. In our last video we have created our custom converters and here are the files. Let me show you. There is this currency param converter. Let me expand this, and then we also have the provider. Now inside this provider we are simply returning an object of currency param converter, right? So we have like two files. In here we have two files, and indeed we can skip on one of the file, which is the param converter, and we can create the business logic. We can add the business logic directly inside this file, hence avoiding us creating an additional file. So in this video we will try to understand how to create a provider, a param converter provider, which will indeed have a yet another inner anonymous object. So let's get started. In here, first of all, we are making use of this particular object, which is currency param converter. So first of all, we will get rid of this and we will type in return new param converter. Here we go. And this would be definitely a constructor call, and we will extend this call. So it would be like adding the unimplemented methods directly in here. In here we are creating this object of param converter type, and we are also overriding the implementation. We are also giving the definition. That is nothing but possible by help of anonymous classes. In here, this is what? This is a creation of an anonymous object, a anonymous implementation of a class. This is a nameless class, right? So we are creating a nameless class and we are returning the object inside this particular object, which is param converter, right? Now let's add the business logic. Now there are two things. We can either make use of string in here, currency in here. Let me do one small little thing. Let me import the required package. Now as soon as we do this, the implementation will change a little. Let me override. In here there would be some kind of issue. There would be a mismatch. The return type is a little different, and we are trying to use a different type of data in here. We are not making use of raw type, whereas this particular get converter method returns a raw type. What is the solution? Solution is very simple though. We will make use of the logic, but we will make use of the raw type instead of our currency type. Now how does this work? Let me show you. So in here we have the business logic. The business logic is good enough. Let me copy the entire business logic, and in here let me paste the business logic in here. Now friends, in here we are returning the object of which type? We are returning the object of currency type. So definitely we need to cast this to a raw type, and the way is very simple. We will hover upon this particular error and we will use this quick fix as a cast to raw type. Alright, apart from that, let us also update the name of this variable as code. It will fix the remaining issues. Alright, so this is good. Now let's move forward, and in here let us make use of this business logic, which is returning the object in the form of a string. So this would be fairly straightforward. It would be like this. Now friends, as soon as we do this, this particular object, the currency, is not available to us. How to deal with this? So in here, let me update the name first. Let me save the changes, and our issue is fixed. The type will try to convert the entire object to string, and to string is something which is already available to every method, but definitely we need to override the toString method in order to make things more readable. Now if you guys remember, we have already overridden the toString method for our class currency, so we need not to do anything apart from this. Alright, so we can like save the changes and our work is done. Let me check. Alright, so there is some kind of issue, and the issue is because we need to add the semicolon. Alright, so now everything is perfect and we don't need this particular file, which is the currency param converter. Let me delete this. Alright, the provider have the entire business logic now, including the toString method and from string method. Alright, so now finally let us try to run this application, and this will give us a crash because we need to rerun this application once again. Let me restart the web server, and then we should get a proper output. Here we go. So let us navigate to jexrs/app ? Code equals INR. Let me hit enter, and here is the output. Amazing. Alright, so it would be like EUR will give us this result. Let me expand this a little, and if I navigate to USD, it will again give us a proper output. Alright, so this is it for today's video, where we have implemented the business logic directly inside our currency param converter provider. So this is nice, this is cool, that how by taking help of anonymous class we can get rid of a file entirely. Alright, so this is it for today's video. In our next video, we will check out couple of more interesting things, and eventually we will also see how to create our own client. Again, that would be an interesting thing to check. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.